They told me crap about taking the taxpayers' dollars away. I'm taking their money. Masa, I'm like, Masa, I'm not taking their money. Masa, the system took their money to go off and pay me in the process of that under a contract, and then actually the system will go off and try to use a mob to try to intimidate the person to go off and like somewhat rip the contract apart. Masa, so the system itself is at the error with the contract that it cannot rip apart when it pays me the people's money into my pocket over here, and then the system over here tried to kill me in the process, which is my main complaint in front of that American court system over here, is that your system tried to kill me over money that claims was of the people's, but at the same time it has all the tools to prosecute me along the way. So it gave me a trial without no jury whatsoever, while it tried to enrich itself to go off and like get money, of like technology and like private corporations to then enrich itself in the process with a few actors over here, to then go off like somewhat use its position of power to enrich itself in the process, and then that came at my expense with the other American people, that then got prosecuted without a fair trial and then experimented upon without a fair trial. While other pedophiles or like killers or like all sorts of worst of the worst will go off and get a fair trial inside the United States because of the fact that all the cameras was in front of the system over here, so they couldn't go off and like abuse the people. While they were inside the United States. Only I over there, they did that stuff over there, and by the end of the day, they have the audacity to go off and complain that they don't want to go off and like someone give the person a compensation on top of the compensation, that the person already had. So I said my complaint will always stand valid in front of courts, and that's why the people's money was coming inside my pocket over here, because of the fact that how much I hate the representative that they wanted to elect that formed that contract with me, and then eventually someone violated me on the internet around myself. So just imagine you have your own village, and then one day the government goes off and like they test radiation on you, and then eventually they violate you, they raid your village, they assault you. One day employee will go off like hit you, and then break your ankle on the special. And then because of the fact that you have a different view of things, or like you spend that money differently on different things that like, they don't agree with, like strippers, then somebody makes an argument that you're stealing the people's money and stuff like that. And you're like, well, I don't care. I hate the fucking government into my friends and stuff like that. It's the government that I'm prosecuted, because the government got elected by the dumbass people around, especially they elected the government officials, but sometimes they publicly go off and like try to like burn into my office specifically or something. Because somehow the people wanted to be governed or create certain systems and certain things around the space. But apparently they didn't have the time to go off and maintain that system itself, or they didn't have the skill and the talent. So they found the best skilled person to go off and maintain the highway. They found the best skilled person that can juggle, to go off and like juggle data or information around the space here. Or they found the best person to go off and juggle paperwork by the billions every single year to be able to somehow process, I don't know, billions of apples that have to go off and be delivered to like millions of houses around the space. So that was a form of government that they initially created as an admin system. And just so happened that that person over there hit me and broke my leg, and then literally every single day I wake up with a loud rain in my area, reminding myself of what they've done. And then literally somewhere I remind myself that to this date they're causing me damage inside my private business over here, and they leak off my information off my private Telegram channel over here that I keep for myself as a memory to go off and like revise when I have to go off and like publish more work that's way to my company and develop special project that's way to the infrastructure of my system over here that run my budget, and then goes off and like someone handle my logistics and like give me my time schedule and the research that I do privately that I go off and sell on the side within the decentralized system is all being leaked off without my consent to the public, costing me money along the way. To this day and tomorrow, all because of the fact that the government wanted to go off and save itself $4,000 a month, while it burns down $60 million into the ear of a fucking Navy air show over here. So somewhere the government itself, violate so many laws around the space over it. I don't care whether or not it says I'm stealing money from the people over here. I told the government over it, go out and prove it. I'll meet you in a class and then ask